Okay, so Wolves versus Southampton. A game that kind of feels like we're going back to normal. After scored 3 goals against low league opposition, which we probably won't do again this season, and then obviously that brilliant night at Old Trafford on Monday night. Back to normal, mid-table side, 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday. But look, this won't be an easy game. Southampton picking up in form, and I know they are a mid-table side, but they're only 4 points behind us. So this is a really important game, especially looking at the fixture list. That February is a very hard month, and there'll probably be another game against Arsenal put in there as well. So when you look at that Southampton Brentford 2 before we go into February, before the transfer window, you'd like to have at least 4 points out of those 2 games. And Southampton's probably the harder game, right? Albeit we did beat them early on in the season. This would be the lineup I'd go with before we talk about Southampton. Obviously, Jose Salva starting goal. Look, I didn't really feel comfortable with Fernando Marçal or Dendoncker at the back against Sheffield United. I'd kind of be nervous whoever plays there. I'm not a big fan of Dendoncker. I think he's a better centre back than he is midfielder personally. Um, I'd go with Dendoncker purely just because I think he fits a little bit better. I don't trust Marçal. He's a bit better in the air. Southampton are bottom for aerial wins as well, so I'd kind of want that extra physicality in there to take advantage of it. I don't know. I feel more comfortable with Dendoncker, but neither of them are ideal. He's clearly not going to play Dion Sanderson. He would have done it in the cup otherwise. So I'd go with Dendoncker. Obviously, Aït-Nouri kind of has to come in. He's just a better fullback. It looks like he's over his injury record, or over that injury that happened. Was it in the warm up at Old Trafford? I don't know. But whenever Aït-Nouri got injured, he looks back now. And if Marcel's going to be our backup centre back to these three, you don't really want to risk him getting injured playing left back when you've got Aït-Nouri. Obviously, Semedo comes in. Keanu has got COVID. We don't have any other midfielders, so there's no point discussing that. Daniel Penence's our form forward right now. Can't get dropped. Trincao I'd play just because it looks like Adama's going to leave. That story kind of keeps heating up, and I want to see Trincao get a run. I know a lot of people aren't fans of Trincao, and that's fine. I'm not saying he's incredible or anything. I wouldn't pay 25 million euros for him right now, but we kind of all said this about Vitinha, and he's doing well at Porto right now. Again, I'm not saying that was the wrong decision or anything, but I kind of want to just see Trincao get an extended run in the side and see what happens, see if he's good enough or not. Let him sink or swim, especially with what's going on with Adama right now. There's a video on my channel, this video, if you want to go watch. That's my thoughts on Adama. I'm not going to speak about it in this video, but that video went down well, so thanks everyone that said stuff about that. But and then I'd play Fabio Silva. Why not? I know this isn't going to happen, by the way. I know Raul Jimenez will start. I'd bet all the money I have on Raul Jimenez starting, but for me, I'd pick players on form. I think Fabio Silva and Potenza have a nice little link up. It's at home. It's against Southampton. You can always bring on Raul if you want to. I thought he did well off the bench against Sheffield United. Why not? I don't really see what the issue is. Pick him on form, but it will obviously be Raul Jimenez. As I said, Southampton to pick him up form. If they win their game, I know we've got a game in hand, but if Southampton beat us, they're only a point behind us, which kind of shows how congested this area is. And if we can beat Southampton, it'll put a nice little gap in between the two sides. Southampton have had some good results recently. They drew Tottenham, they drew Palace, they beat West Ham, and then obviously they beat Brentford. So they're picking up a nice little run now. They've got a consistent 11. They've kind of sorted out their goalkeeper issues as well. So it will be a difficult game. Obviously, we're at home. Southampton's away record is pretty bad, which is nice. I was saying that our home record is awful as well. Not awful, but it's not as good as our away record. And obviously, Southampton's defence is, it's leaky. They're conceding 1.5 goals a game. We've conceded nearly or more than half of what they've conceded. But then again, we're not really scoring anyway, so will we take advantage of that? Who knows? This feels like the perfect game to score some goals in. We'll probably concede. Southampton are decent going forward. Brajo's picking up some form, but I don't know. It just feels like a game that we should be winning if we want to kind of stay in the hunt for that top 7, right? The one thing about Southampton is, kind of when we played Southampton in October, we kind of went on a run where we played loads of pressing sides. We kind of kept struggling. We haven't played like a real elite pressing side in a while, or at least it kind of feels like we haven't. Leicester, Brighton, Brentford, Norwich, Chelsea. Yeah, we haven't played any of these sides recently. Southampton are a great pressing side. How Ralph Hasenhuttl does really well at. I don't think that Southampton squad is pretty good. I don't think it's that good. I think Ralph Hasenhuttl is doing an amazing job. They're a really good pressing side. They're successful when they do it. Maybe Wolves have learnt. Maybe Wolves are better at handling that than they were 2 months ago. Who knows? But that's always a bit of a concern. As I said earlier, Southampton, they're the worst side in the league for aerial wins. So maybe you could, Raul Jimenez and Roman Sace are kind of useful for that. They've both got really good aerial win rates. So losing them for this game wouldn't be an issue if he decided to drop Raul, and obviously Roman Sace is enforced. In terms of possession, both kind of even. So I don't think this is going to be a game where anyone necessarily dominates the ball. It's pretty hectic. Ralph Hasenhüttl is not a possession manager. It's a quick counter attacks, quick ball progression. Kind of not really similar to us, to be honest. But it'll fit for me. This will probably be quite an end-to-end. This is probably one of the more fun Wolves games to watch in recent weeks. Obviously, Southampton way more shots than us. They've had nearly 50 more, which isn't hard. We've actually overtaken Norwich and Burnley now, which is nice. We were bottom of this for a bit, which is embarrassing. But obviously, we need to start moving up the league. It's ridiculous how little shots we're having. But against Sheffield United, we had a lot. And we had a lot against Manchester United. And Daniel Pinence helps that because he seems to have a lot of shots. Same with Fabio Silva. He's always had pretty good shot numbers whenever he's played, if he plays. And then again, Southampton, they're not. They're second bottom for tackling dribblers, and obviously Wolves throughout the whole season have been number one in terms of the amount of dribbles, and it's something that Southampton have been pretty bad at been pretty bad at dealing with. So that excuse me, that's something we could probably exploit, right? But yeah, I don't know. I think Southampton are a good side. They're picking up form, but there are obvious weaknesses to them. They're not good in the air. They struggle with dealing with dribblers, and there's just a lack of talent there. I think Ralph Hasenhüttl's covering up for a lot of that squad's weaknesses, and whatever lineup he picks, whether he picks Raul Jimenez or Fabio Silva or however he picks in the back three, I think there's enough talent in that Wolves squad to beat that Southampton squad. And I thought when we actually played them at St Mary's, they were the better side, but I think a lot's changed since then. And yeah, I'm pretty confident, and I think any Wolves fan should be going into this game. I'll say 2-0 because I don't really feel like we're going to concede because we never really do, and Southampton's defence is a bit porous. I hope Fabio Silva starts. It'll be interesting to see if Adama starts as well, because if he doesn't start, for me that's probably quite telling. But yeah, I'm pretty confident for this game. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah, peace.